Hello and welcome back to Learn to Love DIY. Today we are showing you something quite different from before. I'm showing you what I did for a baby shower for a family member. We are going to be, I'm going to be having a new nephew soon, and these are some of the decorations I created for the baby shower. And I'm going to be showing you the different processes that I went through with each of the items. I did these hot air balloons as centerpieces. I also did the balloon garland as well as the background for the table of the two, the mom and dad. So to get started here, we're going to go ahead and grab our cotton ball bags. I didn't know how many I was going to need for the clouds I was going to be making. And then I also die cut a bunch of stars from the different paper I had in my stash. And then I bought some glue sticks. I'm going to be using my glue gun to attach the cotton balls, and then I pre-cut quite a bit of these cloud shapes out of cereal boxes. So I tried to do different sizes just because I didn't know how I was going to be doing the background, so I wanted to have a variety of sizes. And here you just see me fluffing up the different cotton balls. And I did have to once, since I did do these in advance, I did have to kind of refill some of the pieces in when I was about to put them up, just because they had been sitting down for about a week. And so I had to fill them in, so I made sure that to take all of my my glue gun and a lot of my stash of like leftover cotton balls and whatnot. So I went ahead and did that. And then I did go ahead and show you also that I had purchased 2 tablecloths in the rectangle shape because I didn't know if I was going to be using 1 or 2 for the background. And these work great. They cover quite a large area, and you don't have to use very many of them. And so here you kind of just see me filling in the spots, and I'm not doing it in any particular order, just kind of trying to fill them up as much as I can. And this is what I did for all of my clouds. Okay, so now that I am go ahead and done, I have several of these all filled up, as you can see, and I didn't end up using as many of the cotton balls as I thought I was going to need. I ended up using about a bag and a half, as you can see here, and so I did take those along with me just in case I was going to need them, and I did. And here you can see I got some pint jars from one of my local stores, and I did make all dozen of these, and I didn't use the lid, so I went ahead and removed those. And then I went into my stash, grabbed a couple of paintbrushes and something to put the paint in, and then I chose the different kinds of blues because I didn't know which one I wanted to go ahead and use. And then I did grab some of the white paint that I had, and here you just see me taking off all the lids and things that I'm just putting away. I'm thinking of doing a project with those. However, once I saw how many there were, I'm going to see if I can make something out of this for an upcoming project. And here, all I am doing is doing 1 layer of paint, and I'm doing these for 6, because I'm going to be doing 6 in a blue and 6 in a white. And here I'm just kind of filling in as much as possible. I'm not doing it in any specific way or anything, just making sure I get as much coverage as possible. And then I do end up doing the bottoms, and then I just flip them to dry. And I did this for all 6 of these. And then I went ahead and did the same process, as you can see here, for the other 6 using the blue. I ended up using a metallic blue, which ended up looking really nice, and I'm really glad that I went with that choice. So all I'm going to do now is just let them dry, and I did air dry them for about a day, and then I came back, and as you can see here, I pulled out my Modge Podge because I like the way that they ended up, but I felt that they were missing something, and I wanted to go ahead and add a splash of something. And so to make them look a little bit nicer and more to my taste, I went ahead and applied Modge Podge and then a layer of what do you call it? Glitter. I'm sorry, kind of lost that word for a minute. And as you can see here are all my finished 6 and 6 blue and 6 the white, and those would be the basis for my hot air balloons. And here I am showing you all the different bags that I purchased either at the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store, and some that I had left over from a different project. And I was able to get these balloon sticks at the Dollar Tree, and then I found some at Walmart. They were all white, and I decided to pick out all the blues and the whites just to kind of try to match them up, as well as all the different ribbons that I had in my stash. I grabbed all the whites and the different colored blues, and then I purchased these tissue papers, something I had in my stash, that other color blue, and then I bought those two from the 99-cent store. And so here what I did is I blew up my balloon, and I went ahead and made sure I knotted it, and I took a 12-inch balloon. So I did purchase the different sizes. I believe I got 9 inches and 12 inches as far as balloons, and I bought 2 bags of each because I didn't know which size I was going to go with. And then I bought a very large bag, or a jumbo bag, of just the whites, and I'm going ahead and using the same height for all of them. And I'm going to be using hot glue for most of this project. And I had, as you can see, that the jars are all pre-filled with the foam I had purchased at Walmart, just to see how well the balloon would hold. And I did do like I'm going to say a dry fit, or like a sample of this before I went ahead and completed all of the hot air balloons, just because I didn't know which was the best way to create it and the best look that I wanted to get from what I had already seen on like Pinterest and pictures that people had posted online. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure that this was to my taste. And I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see what I'm kind of doing here, but I applied a little bit of glue so that it wouldn't move too much and it would have some sort of permanence. I did, however, see that some people glued some of like the skewer sticks inside the balloon holders, or the balloon sticks that I went ahead and put into my jar. However, the ones that I had on hand didn't quite fit. They were too thick in their circumference, so I didn't go that route. And so here I'm just kind of going ahead and gluing the bottom first before I go ahead and start applying the ribbon onto the hot air balloon. And I'm showing you bits and pieces of my process and trying to focus the camera so that you're able to see most of it. And I'm hoping that you're able to get a good picture off of what I am doing, just because my setup was set up in the kitchen table, and I was trying to work as fastly as possible. And so here, because this is a white balloon, I took 2 pieces of my blue ribbons in 2 different colors, and I do speed this process up, and all I am doing is gluing one end and then the other end, and then just crisscrossing them on the top. And I did end up taking the tape, just simple clear tape, just to adhere the crisscross part on the balloon to make sure that it wouldn't fall over on one side or the other. And then I'm just kind of adjusting it so that it's a tight fit, and then gluing the other 2 ends onto the jar. And I'm gluing them onto the jar just because the foam with the hot air, with the foam with the hot glue would somewhat melt. So I went ahead and did that on the glass. And here I am pre-gluing my banner pieces onto it, and I just cut different pieces. I used a punch for this that I had on hand, so it's not something I had to purchase. And I'm just gluing them individually onto a piece of really thin white ribbon, and I'm leaving some space in between because it will be going around the 4 pieces of ribbon around the balloon. So I'm leaving room for myself to go ahead and glue it, and for it to hang off the side just a tad bit. And I will be decorating the spots where it joins onto the next ribbon with a little bow that I had pre-made, just to kind of go through the process a little bit faster, and so I wouldn't waste too much time when it came to assembly time. So I wanted to pre-make whatever I could, and make sure that everything went a little bit smoother and less time consuming. So as you can see here, I just kind of cut different kinds of banner pieces from the cardstock to kind of coordinate with my balloons. So I some in blue, some in white, some in a little bit of gray in there, and then try to do different kinds. I did some glitter paper and some designer cardstock and just regular plain old cardstock in color. And then here I'm just taking my tissue paper once I've already glued the little banner with the bows, and I'm going to go ahead and center these in the center. I'm taking 2 of the white and then 1 of each of the blue colors, and I'm just applying a little bit of hot glue onto the tissue paper and then just trying to get them connected and filled in to kind of cover the foam in the inside. Now I did have different ideas, but I decided to go ahead and do the tissue part just because it was easier to cover up and a little bit less messy than like the other things that I had in mind, which was like loose paper that you could find, or like fillers, different other kinds of fillers. And then to give it an extra touch, I took ribbon that I had curled in a dark blue and then just hung it from the sides of each of the ribbons that looped over the balloon. So here is my finished product, all completed and done. It didn't take me too much to do the one, and as you can see here, I have the curlies of the blue ribbon hanging on the bottom there. And then finally, I'm going to show you here how I created part of my garland. And this one was a big bag that I purchased at the 99-cent store. It was 120 of the 9-inch balloons, I believe. And I paid $2.99 for that, which was a good deal because it has more than the normal set. And then I did have purchased this balloon. What is it? Air or compressor for air for balloons. It was going to be easier instead of me having to blow I don't know how many balloons by myself, or trying to buy that handheld pump that they sometimes sell at Walmart or at the dollar store. So what I went ahead and did is I did different colors, different sizes, and to do the base, I kind of switched the camera off so you guys can see what I was doing off the side here, and then I went ahead and connected these two. I left a little bit of ribbon hanging just because I didn't know if I was going to be tying it onto something or putting it on something. And so here I just went ahead and tied those 4. I did intertwine them, and then I went ahead and tied the ribbon and make sure that it was all nice and intertwined. And I'm just doing the different colors of the balloons in different sizes and just trying to follow some sort of line and color. And then here I'm just kind of intertwining it. I go over the new one and then over a one that's already been tied, and then just try to make sure that it stays nice and neat. And as you can see here, from the beginning, this is kind of the end product of it all. I ended up doing half at home of the garland, and then the other half or 2/4 of it at the site, just because it was hard to travel with. So, and here is the background with the stars. I ended up using just one the tablecloths and a few of the clouds along with the stars. So I really like the way that it looked. I hope that this has helped you to create your own hot air balloon theme party, and thank you very much for watching.